WWE's creative.
Yo, YouTube, what it do? Back at it again. Not a police body cam, but we looking at a video from my boy WrestleMania. My bad. I love your channel, bro. Always watching your shit. You keep me updated with this goofy product that we watch, cause WWE been tweaking lately. But let's see what my guy WrestleMania is talking about.
Team really needs to be studied right now, as there's no denying that WWE
Definitely.
is in a creative rut. The Raw and SmackDown product don't exactly offer anything new, exciting, or compelling, and this would be alarming at any time of the year, but the fact that we're less than 2 months away from the biggest show of the year should be a big wake-up call for WWE.
Which is insane. We're so close to WrestleMania. We have zero good storylines. Damn near don't even have any storylines. And it's just nothing compelling, nothing drawing me to want to watch the shit. And it's sad because I love this freaking thing we call a sport, but it ain't. It's just entertainment, but it's bullshit. Look on it.
WWE. Every week, a new report surfaces stating that Triple H has once again changed up the WrestleMania card. This is incredibly concerning, as the WrestleMania card, albeit except for injuries, should be firmly locked in before the Royal Rumble, and the fact that top WWE talent reportedly don't know their WrestleMania match is frightening to say the very least. But how has this occurred? How has WWE fallen off so badly that they have become creatively bankrupt in 2026 on the road to WrestleMania? Can they steer the ship back to greatness once again? Could we get to the level of peak that was at WrestleMania 40? Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos. The WrestleMania card has been ripped up numerous times over the past 12 months. Early matches such as Roman Reigns vs Cody Rhodes, Roman Reigns vs Seth Rollins, and Rollins vs Braun Breaker have all been scrapped for different reasons. The first of which was scrapped due to Triple H being concerned that fans would be bored of Reigns vs Rhodes again. But then in an ironic twist, they've decided to move forward with another incarnation of the now infamous Rhodes vs Drew McIntyre rivalry for
Like, we ain't tired of seeing this. We done seen this all year, and neither of the matches were really good. Like, 3 Stages of Hell was okay, I guess, but we've been seeing this shit all year. Now we got to see it at WrestleMania, possibly.
WWE title. On paper at least, it appeared that Triple H had numerous matches locked in back in the summer, but when these matches were scrapped, either due to injuries or creative differences, he had no concrete plans to fall back on. This has clearly been seen with the likes of Jade Cargill's title situation over on SmackDown. The show in the women's division has pretty much been on autopilot since Cargill won the title all the way back in November, and this has been done as WWE are eagerly anticipating the return of Bianca Belair. Belair has been out of action with a serious hand injury, and the injury is said to be so substantial that it's been labeled,
"Man, we miss you, Bianca,"
as an unprecedented injury by WWE officials. The former world champion recently underwent surgery on the finger and the knuckles, and this ultimately means that she will miss WrestleMania 42. This has left WWE scrambling, as their backup plans look to be another rematch between Jade Cargill and Tiffany Stratton. This is a match that fans have zero interest in, or a match between Cargill and Charlotte Flair. Well, at least a match between Charlotte.
Nobody want to see Tiffany Strap-on and Jade Cargill. Shout out intern John.
Flair and Jade Cargill is interesting on paper, but WWE has done such a stellar job with Flair's character since she joined forces with Alexa Bliss, so it'd be a shame if this is reversed and Flair is once again chasing the world title gold. What these instances show is that the game needs more than one idea. He can be steadfast on one concrete idea, because if this fails, no other match has been built up underneath, and no storyline has been developed. This leaves the new match feeling secondary, and fans can tell straight away that this wasn't the initial plans. WWE has thankfully hit a home run so far with the CM Punk vs Roman Reigns feud, but granted, they've only had one.
Did they hit a home run? I think he's going to go on and say, because that promo was the only thing good about this. And that was like 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. I don't know. I kind of fell off. This shit's ass. So, yeah, who cares?
Promo. Both men should bring their A-games to the build, and as long as WWE keeps focus on the build and don't overcomplicate things, the match and feud could carry the entire WrestleMania build. But where are the hot angles? Well, WrestleMania season thrives on hot and compelling angles. Everyone remembers Batista turning on Triple H or Randy Orton hunting down the McMahon family. These angles were incredible, and they captured the spirit of what WrestleMania season is all about. Sadly, there's not been a single angle of this magnitude on Raw or SmackDown as of late, and there appears to be no signs that any substantial angle is going to be planned. These shows on the road to WrestleMania should feel must-see, but based on recent editions of Raw and SmackDown, it's almost as if
and they're not must-see, they're not see it all. I haven't watched Raw or SmackDown in like months.
WWE are building up to a fast lane or a Saturday night's main event. There's a lack of urgency, and it's hurting the product. Even when the WWE product wasn't doing too well in terms of reception from fans, take for instance 2018 and 19 respectively, Raw and SmackDown still felt focused and driven, and it was obvious from watching these shows that WrestleMania was around the corner. Outside of the Mania sign being in the corner of the arena, these shows just don't feel like Mania season broadcasts, and fans are quite rightly calling it out. One thing's for sure, WWE only has themselves to blame. But for the first time, arguably since Triple H took over WWE Creative, they're struggling to move tickets for WrestleMania. Fightful Select reported in the middle of February that they held a company-wide meeting addressing how to boost ticket sales. WWE is thinking about how to move tickets. WrestleVote.
Hey asshole, as long as you've been in wrestling, the way you move tickets is by putting on a good wrestling show. Oh man, I didn't know it was that easy to figure that out. Dumbass Triple K.
Radio on Fightful Select reported that WWE held a multi-department company meeting on February 11th to address lower than expected ticket sales for WrestleMania. All departments have been tasked with promotions and strategies to boost ticket sales and momentum heading into the event. The report added that WWE decided to keep ticket prices the same. WrestleVotes also heard that WWE plans to keep ticket pricing as is for the time being. As of this past week, WrestleTix has each night in the neighborhood of 36,000 tickets distributed thus far. Last year, WrestleMania ended up between 56,000 to 60,000 distributed each night. As of this point last year, they'd moved about 10,000 tickets per night more. And this report lit social media on fire, and for good reason. WWE has firmly taken the audience for granted. They know that the product has underdelivered for a number of months, yet they've still decided to increase ticket prices and are now concerned that ticket sales have fallen? This is backwards, and they should surely realize that the fix is lowering ticket prices and creating must-see angles on television. It also doesn't help that the average ticket price for WWE's WrestleMania shows have increased tenfold over the last 4 or 5 years. According to Brandon Thurston via WrestleNomics, the average ticket price for WrestleMania 38 was $135. The average ticket price for WrestleMania 39 was $169. Then it doubled at WrestleMania 40 with $3.
Dude, look at that scale. It shoots to the fucking moon. Jeez, bro. And he started with 40. 39 was low. It actually dipped. It went down from 2019 to 2020, 2019. Oh, the 2-night era. Okay, so damn, man. Just look at that, bro. These money hungry bastards, man. Like, y'all ain't already $1 billion.
$41 on average, and then doubled again for WrestleMania 41 at $635 being the average ticket price.
We miss you,
Whilst
Vince.
it probably hasn't doubled for WrestleMania 42, we can expect that the average ticket price has still increased from $635. How is the average man supposed to afford this for himself or his entire family for WrestleMania? And this doesn't even include the price you would have to pay for even staying in Vegas. And if you want to be there for 2 nights, double that price. It's actually insane of how much of an increase WWE's made with tickets. Teddy Long would even blast WWE over their ticket sales, saying that Vince would never have done this. You know, like I said, they can do that, and the reason they can do it because they've got the power and they've got the money to do it. But here's what you got to understand too, that these people already got money and power, and they're already asking people to give them money, that we're in the worst economy of all time right now. I mean, jobs are not happening. I mean, healthcare, just a whole lot of stuff is going on now. People can't even go and, I hate you can go on Walmart now. Yeah, it's ridiculous. Man, the prices and stuff. So how do you feed your family and then try to entertain them and go to this big event? You can't do that. Your family's gonna come first. I would hope so. I'm buying me some food and stuff for my family. Go see anybody. So I don't understand it. Man, it's really amazing. Like I said, I'm with you on that. Vince McMahon would have never done anything like this. Vince would have figured out a way that it would have came out, and everybody would have made money, everybody would have been happy, including all the fans too. He's absolutely spot on with this assessment. Vince McMahon has his own issues, but he would have never been this greedy. He wanted to make sure that families could comfortably afford WrestleMania tickets. But it also doesn't help that the match card for the biggest show of the year looks completely flat.
Ass.
Outside of
The ticket prices, yeah, they're crazy. But it would like at least make it somewhat worth it if the show was good. It hasn't been good since not last year WrestleMania, but the WrestleMania before that. That's when we was cooking some shit. Since then, it's been booty butt cheeks.
CM Punk versus Roman Reigns, WWE looks to be presenting Cody Rhodes versus Drew McIntyre as the main event in night one. This is a match that WWE has delivered countless times, as there's no interest whatsoever in this being a WrestleMania main event from the fans. It's also been rumored that WWE are going to add an extreme stipulation such as a Hell in a Cell, but it would make more sense for WWE to pivot and go in a different direction. WWE is clearly making up their booking as they go along. McIntyre's WWE title win was a last-minute addition to SmackDown in January, and this once again shook up the planned WrestleMania match card. Now granted, this type of booking was common in Vince McMahon's era WWE. This is a comparison that Triple H needs to avoid, as he was once established as a man who planned out shows weeks and months in advance, but something has clearly changed. The signs were always there. Now, Triple H has been accused of losing his passion for WWE. These accusations come from the fact that last year, Triple H became obsessed with targeting his critics, and he seemed less than enthusiastic about attending Raw despite being the head of WWE Creative. In fact, in the summer, he missed a Raw broadcast to attend a comedy show, and then in a shocking piece of PR for him and WWE, he revealed that he hadn't even watched that week's episode of WWE's flagship show. As a head of creative, you need to be watching the show, right? But it's not all negative. Triple H has his moments of brilliance, and there's no denying that he's significantly better than Vince McMahon ever was at managing creative, especially during McMahon's later years in WWE. Talent, mostly across the board, would agree with this, but Triple H definitely has issues when it comes to booking WrestleMania. Back in 2024, the whole WrestleMania card was changed when the crowd rejected The Rock versus Roman Reigns. Triple H should have seen this coming, and whilst the end product was fantastic, we can't ignore that this wasn't the original plan. Then last year, John Cena's heel turn was completely unplanned and was only done because The Rock wanted Cody Rhodes to turn heel, which Rhodes rejected. This once again forced Triple H to make changes, and it resulted in one of the worst WrestleMania main events of all time. Former WCW President Eric Bischoff discussed Triple H recently on his podcast, and what Bischoff said was very interesting. He stated that whilst Triple H gets all the blame, numerous key figures that were in the weeds under Vince McMahon are still there, and they'll be pitching the same ideas. Names such as Road Dogg, Michael P.S. Hayes, and Bruce Pritchard are all McMahon's hires, and we saw firsthand on WWE Unreal of how out of touch these names really are with the product.
And that show Unreal is so garbage. Like, bruh. I tried watching one episode. It was pissing me off. I turned it off. I can't watch that shit. Nobody wants to know the rules of this game. I know it's fake. I don't need you motherfuckers to tell me, bruh, and make it more fake. Goddamn.
Triple H isn't sitting there delivering every single element of creative, and he needs urgent help. But this urgent help doesn't need to come under the same names that WWE have run into the ground for years. They need youth in the creative team, and it needs names that have unique ideas and that would appeal to WWE fans on the grander scale. It can't be ruled out the reason that Triple H and the product was so well received between 2023 and 2024 was because it wasn't Vince McMahon delivering the creative output. However, now that McMahon has been out of the picture for a number of years, the game's conduct and creative output is now under more scrutiny, and the cracks are unfortunately beginning to show. So are they creatively bankrupt? It's evident from watching Raw and SmackDown that the game, as well as its dated creative team, have completely run out of ideas. Raw has multiple mystery angles going on at the same time. SmackDown is relying heavily on a feud that was stale 5 months ago in Cody Rhodes vs Drew McIntyre, and the highlight of the show is just the US Open Challenge, a booking device that is incredibly simple to execute and really doesn't take much creative thinking power. But this is the worst time of the year to be running out of ideas, as WWE should in theory be firing on all cylinders right now, but they're presenting a tired product from a tired creative team and charging big bucks for it. Whilst it's unlikely that TKO will implement any key changes in the creative team, they do need a big wake-up call. Unfortunately, the drop in ticket sales haven't been enough to influence any type of big change, and this is likely due to the increased cost of tickets counteracting the drop in sales. TKO is a company that only sees dollars and cents, so this is ultimately going to be the only thing that influences any positive shakeups within the company itself. What do you guys think? Is WWE...
Man, and with that mindset, I can see the WWE not lasting much longer. Yes, they'll have the money to maintain, but Nobody's gonna care. I feel like AEW is starting to heat up a lot. And like, I don't know, man. Tony Khan let them boys do what they do over there. WWE, it seemed like it's for kids, but it's not kid affordable because ain't no kids really there because they parents ain't finna spend all that money for them and them to go. If they go, the parent gonna go, they gonna pay for themselves just to go, which is fucked up. But I can't see that happening. WWE's ass elimination, lamer, not chamber lamer. It's gonna be ass this weekend. WrestleMania is gonna be ass. But it's your boy Smoke Kage. I'm out of here. Y'all be smooth. Peace.